after a while.
Very good evening, all of you. Sorry, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir. Warm welcome to you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Madam, we will start at 6:55, madam.
Okay, sir. Okay, sure, sir.
Okay, madam.
Hi.
Wajid sir, good evening, sir.
Very good evening, all. We are about to begin the session very shortly. Kindly stay tuned and thank you for your patience. HOD sir, good evening, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Madam, chief guest joined or not, madam?
Join,
That is
sir.
waiting, madam.
Sharing screen. Uh,
Ajit sir, good evening, sir. Madam, just 2 minutes wait, madam.
okay, sir. Gunesh sir.
மேடம் சீஃப் கெஸ்ட் உள்ள வர முடியல, வெயிட்டிங்ல இருக்க 10 மினிட்ஸா.
Okay.
ஜஸ்ட் 2 மினிட்ஸ் மேடம், மற்றவங்களை டெலிட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். மேக்ஸிமம் பார்ட்டிசிபேஷன் வந்துருச்சு. சார் இஸ் வெயிட்டிங் ஃப்ரம் பாஸ்ட் 10 மினிட்ஸ் மேடம், ஜஸ்ட் வெயிட் மேடம்.
Okay. Good evening, sir. Welcome, sir. Dr. Said Wajid, sir. A special welcome to you, sir.
Bluetooth off. Mute, okay.
यहाँ स्पीकर ऑफ है क्या देखो। Hello, good evening.
And a warm welcome to you, sir. Dr. Said Wajid, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Sure. You can proceed. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Very good evening, all of you.
ஓகே மேடம்.
Yes, sir. Shall I continue, sir? Okay, sir. Once again, very good evening, all of you. Thank you all for your tireless support. And I thank God Almighty for the continuous progress. Alhamdulillah for everything. And red carpet welcome to our today's resource person, Dr. Said Wajid, the Associate Professor and the Registrar of St. Joseph University, Bangalore. Welcome you, sir. Let's have the special attention of today's resource person. Let's invite Mr. Suresh Kumar, Assistant Professor of Maths, to introduce our chief guest to our virtual gathering.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். எண்ணும் எழுத்தும் கண்ணென தகும் ஔவையார். எண்ணென்ப ஏனை எழுத்தென்ப இவ்விரண்டும் கண்ணென்ப வாழும் உயிர்க்கு திருவள்ளுவர். மீனிங், letter and number are the two eyes of human being. Instead of national curriculum for education, what is really needed is an individual curriculum for every child. Charles Handley. Expected luminaries of this prestigious institution, none other than our founder of the college, director sir, and CEO sir of the institution, esteemed chief guest of the evening, beloved principal sir, HODs of various departments, and the most cherished faculty members. Good evening to all. It is indeed a beautiful evening, all shocked in the delighted frame of mind. This evening, I have the pleasure of introducing the star of this FTP program, Dr. Syed Wajid, Deputy Registrar, Coordinator, Planning and Monitoring Board on Special Day of Mathematics. At present, Dr. Syed Wajid is working as an associate professor of the Department of Microbiology, St. Joseph University, Bangalore, Karnataka. Along with his profession, he has worked as a former director of IQAC in the same institution. He has secured various positions at St. Joseph College and University from 2003 onwards. Especially, he has served as a trustee of Center of Social Concern in the year of 2003, Vice President of Microism, Head of the Department in the year of 2013 to 18, Nodal Officer, NIR of India Today, and weak ranking on the year of 2015 to 2023. Ignitous Facilitator at SJC and SJEC 2015 to till today. Additionally, he is working as a coordinator of Parmash, UGC scheme for mentoring NAC accreditation aspirant institution, etc. Words that had enough to describe his achievements so far. Dr. Syed Wajid has worked as an active member of various platforms like Bangalore City University nominee in microbiology, Board of Studies member in different colleges, advisory committee member, and external academic expert, etc. He is a teacher with full of passion and knowledge. His 25 years of teaching experience covers 130 UG and 30 MSc microbiology dissertations. He is an orator with thoughtful of wisdom and enthusiasm. He has participated as a resource person for more than 80 national and state level seminars, workshops, and conferences, and published a number of research papers. Along with all these achievements, he directs several plays to give awareness on social related topics. We are very privileged to have you here for our FTV program, sir. Now I invite Dr. Syed Wajid to deliver his golden words of acknowledgement to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Satish, for your kind introduction. So at the outset, let me thank the organizers of this FDV program and thank you for inviting me. I also thank the management of Danish Ahmad Institute of Technology for this opportunity. PowerPoint presentation. Do let me know if you're able to see it.
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Just a minute. Yeah. Can you see the slide?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Should I keep my video on or can I turn off the video?
Sir, your wish, sir.
Okay. Let me see how it goes. Just 1 minute. Okay. Can you see the slide now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you once again. So the topic that I'll be talking to you today is design of curriculum. So over the past, I think 4 days, you have been listening to talks on outcome-based education. So a component of that is what I'm going to talk about, which is design of curriculum. So by now you already have known that outcome-based education, it is one of the type of education that transform the learning experience by emphasizing achievable real world outcomes that ensure students not only master academic content but also cultivate key skills and competencies required to succeed in fast paced competitive world. Okay, now this particular statement that I picked up to brief tell you that through whatever education that we are imparting on the students, we are basically trying to make them ready for the today's world. That is, they'll have to face a competitive world where they need to have good amount of skills and competencies to sort of excel in whatever task that they sort of do it. So hence, to take this further, so we're talking here about design of curriculum. So let's try to understand what you mean by curriculum, basically. Okay. Now, when you say curriculum, it is the crux of the whole educational process. If a student say that I've enrolled for a program, so the entire program that you sort of have designed from the day one, the student is going to be part of an institution to the time he or she exits of the institute, whatever process that you have built in for that student to be a part and parcel of the institution, now that is what we call it as curriculum. So without curriculum, we say that we cannot conceive how educational institutions function. So literal sense, when you say curriculum, it's a pathway towards a particular goal. We normally say outcomes. Outcome is what a student intend to do after a graduation or subsequently after graduating, when they start working after 3 years, 5 years down the line. So this curriculum gives a sort of a pathway to us to check as to where should a student go towards, like it's a sort of a direction for a student, which we normally sort of design. Okay, so in Latin, curriculum is to run or runway or run course. It's basically a sort of a direction to say that you start here, after a while you see yourselves here, and then subsequently you move there, and then it's a clear thing. So we design 1 year certificate courses, 2 year diploma, 3 year graduation, 4 year honors, and then subsequently master's program, PhD programs, all of that. So for any of those that we sort of design, we design what is called as a curriculum. Okay, so what exactly is curriculum? It's a comprehensive plan for an entire educational program encompassing what subjects they're going to study, what activities they're going to engage in, and what are the learning experiences they'll have it during their sort of graduation, which they are part of a school, and which is this school is part of an institution. When I say school here, it refers any of the school like life sciences, school of business, school of humanities, yeah, which a student is part of, and then these schools are part of an institution. So basically, curriculum here, it is an comprehensive plan for an entire educational program. Okay, so now this curriculum, we try to design a lot of content, and that content had to be delivered. And how do we deliver? Through a process what is called as pedagogy, and this pedagogy is the science of teaching. So whenever we talk about curriculum, pedagogy comes along with it, because the content that we design in a curriculum, that has to be dealt with the students, and that the way of teaching is what we call it as pedagogy. Okay, so you design the curriculum and you deliver the curriculum. To deliver the curriculum, we sort of use what is called as pedagogy. Now, this entire curriculum design has come from these four basic principles that was given by Spady in the year 1944. Was the first thing is that is clarity of focus. When you design a program, you need to be very, very clear about what is this program all about, what is the culminating exit outcomes of this particular program. Okay, so unless and until we are not clear about what this program intend to provide to the students, you can't really design. Okay, so it's a 3-year undergraduate program or a 2-year master's program. Once you're clear about this is the program all about, and then you start designing that sort of curriculum with complete clarity in mind. Unless and until you're not clear that this program is intended for a student to build these sort of skill sets, to build these sort of competencies, so that after completion, when they go out, they can, cater to the society. Either they get employed, they start something of their own, and where they also keep the essence of the society in mind, be it the local, national, international, how the education is going to be of use to them. Now, once we have clarity that this is the program that we are going to design, what comes is like, you need to start putting things in places. Clear? That is, what is that the students would start with? Okay, semester 1, what all the courses that they're going to learn, what additional skill sets you're going to provide it to them other than the core courses, the extracurricular activities, all that you sort of design. So then you talk about designing down from your ultimate culminating outcomes. That is, first you need to have focus, clarity, and then you start slowly designing the entire curriculum. And when you design, we always tend to have high expectations from this particular curriculum, where we vouch out telling that this particular curriculum that we have designed for a program will meet all of the set standards. By ensuring that all these standards are set, we achieve those sort of standards, and then there is going to be better outcomes from this particular processes that we have put in place. And when you sort of implement this, what is that you're going to also look at is what other opportunities that are available which you can tap them, and also what sort of support that you're going to give which the students use it as an opportunity so that their learning happens. Keeping these 4 principles in mind, the curriculum is getting designed. So what is the process that we go through when we sort of design a curriculum? Okay, so the curriculum design process, the first thing is, when we design a curriculum, we need to be very clear as to what are the graduate attributes, what are the attitude or the competencies a student will have in her or his, okay, when we sort of offer a particular program. So the first thing that one needs to do is you need to define graduation attributes. Okay, now once the attributes are ready, at the same time you also need to do a sort of a need analysis as to why is this program we are implementing, what is the requirement of this program. Okay, are there employers ready to employ our students if they pass out from this particular program? Is the society really require such sort of students where they can be of help? Clear? So the entire stakeholders, you need to take a sort of a feedback or an analysis to ensure that yes, there is a requirement of this particular program. Only then it's good to start such programs. So once you have got some sort of an idea, the need analysis of a particular program, what you now do is you start framing the program outcomes. Okay, and also specific to that program, a lot of courses to be designed, and those course outcomes also has to be sort of framed. Clear? So once that is done, then what you do is you try to structure it out, which semester what courses to be sort of designed and to be dealt, and how many semester for a particular program. Is it like 2 semester as per the NEP, where you can have exit outcomes with a certificate course? After 2 years there is a diploma, then after 3 years a graduation. If they extend for 1 more year, it's like a honors program, and if they go for another year, so it's like a master's program. So that clarity, with that clarity, you need to sort of work with. Okay, and then once the courses has been designed, now they have to be delivered. So you start with designing the content, and once you design the content, you also need to design how do you deliver the content, that is the pedagogy. And once you have delivered the content, whatever is generated, how do you assess them? So there are three components here. One is designing of the syllabus. How do you deliver the syllabus? And then how do you assess this sort of a syllabus? Clear? So those three components, again, you need to have well thought of. And once you have implemented, you need to sort of monitor what you have thought of. And in order to check if it's going, you need to keep feedbacks, take feedbacks. It could be like formative feedbacks or summative feedback, or the assessments that you need to sort of carry out in order to check things are going the way you have thought of. Clear? And take pause for a while after a particular time period, and then do some periodically revision based on the feedback that has been generated. Clear? And then ensure that they are sort of revised as and when there is sort of a requirement. Once you say things are not that going great with the feedback that has come, so you need to pause for a while and see where you have gone wrong, and then you sort of start moving. Clear? This has hopefully has given some sort of a clarity about what is that we need to keep in mind when we start off designing of the curriculum. Clear? So there are 7 steps. Hope you're able to connect with me as I'm talking to you all. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. So when we say we are designing the curriculum, again, as I said, now whom are we designing this program for? Are there sort of students who are ready to take it up, this sort of program? That is something that you need to first keep in mind whenever you design a sort of curriculum. Okay, that is, identify the audience and the opportunities. Try to offer programs only when there is a requirement of such program. Based on, as you see that there are new programs that are coming up, there is a new demand that is coming from the industry. You need to keep in mind, if there is a program which is already functioning and you feel it's not very relevant at that point of time, see how you can sort of append that particular program, how you can sort of work on that program to make it more relevant to the current times. If you feel that this sort of a program is not really going to help, there are no students coming in for this because there are no job opportunities, that means you might have to seriously think about that program and might offer or replace it with something which is really sort of required. So to begin with, first thing you need to do is you need to identify the audience and see if there is sort of an opportunity for you to explore towards the implementation of this sort of program. Now, at the same time, you also need, when I say that I'm going to offer this sort of a program, you need to also check that are there required faculty to teach this program. Okay, it could be faculty within the institute, could also be faculty whom you can collaborate with the other institutes. There is no harm in collaborating with the other institutes. If there are someone who are very good at it, you can call them for certain courses to be taught by them and all, so that the program that you have designed, there are real good teaching resources or faculty to teach those sort of course content. So ensure that there are good faculty within the institute, or if you don't have it, you can also collaborate it. You can also design the entire curriculum. UGC also talks about 60:40, 60 which can be offline and 40 which can be online. So you can also try to include lot of courses where students can take those online, either where your own faculty have designed the online content, or it could also be what are already available on the various portals, the online program that they also can take it. It can also be state-wise, where you can also invite people as how you are conducting this sort of an FDP. You can also design online programs in collaboration with other institutes or universities where online they can teach certain courses. Okay, so try to look for faculty in-house and faculty whom you can collaborate for any such sort of programs. Then you design courses. You are offering a program. That program will have lot of activities, and several such activities are where the courses are being taught. Okay, theoretical, practical oriented, varied sort of courses that you're teaching, and try to design these courses keeping in mind what is relevant for the current times. That is something very, very important, because we can't teach something which is sort of outdated, which has no sort of relevance currently. So design your courses which are goal specific. And as you sort of started designing, you also sort of frame what are called as the measurable learning outcomes and the course specific outcomes. Okay, when you start writing, that gives you sort of a clarity. When I teach this, what a student is able to achieve, clear, by the end of a particular course. And several such courses, when they completed, a program is what is formed. They say, after I complete a particular program, this is what I'm able to do. When I do a course, this is what I'm able to do. When I take all collectively, all courses, all activities that are designed under a program, once I complete, this is what I'm able to do, is where you sort of start writing your POs. Clear? So then as you have designed it, you also should have designed how do you implement this, like a sort of delivery mechanisms that you have worked on. And then once you have delivered, you also have certain assessments to ensure that there is learning that is happening. So determine evidence of learning. Clear? And then as you keep going, also check for the experiences of the students as to how they are happy about the entire process that you have brought in. Clear? So for which you need to sort of plan certain learning experiences and instructions which you adhere to, abide by, follow it, so that you sort of get good feedback about the process. Clear? And then finally you conduct whatever that you have intent to, and then try to evaluate or assess that and see how things are going ahead based on whatever you have designed. Clear? So now when I say curriculum, it's the total design that you have done for a particular program, so under which you teach different courses. Okay, now when I have to design a course specific for a particular program, there are certain components that you need to keep in mind. Okay, one is outcome based education. So a course that I'm designing, whatever course that I'm designing, there has to be a particular outcome of that particular course that I've designed. Okay, different courses will try to enhance the skill quotient of a particular student, competencies of a particular student, so that you need to be well aware of, and also check that if these skill sets, the competencies are required in the outside world. Okay, be it for them to start something of their own, be it for them to get employed by various sort of companies. Clear? And how do you take it forward? We talk about lifelong learning. With whatever we provide them, how they can further grow from whatever the concepts that they have learned, the skills that they've learned, subsequently for them to become sort of what we call them as the lifelong learners. Clear? So now you design such course keeping in mind the outcome based education, and you try to provide some sort of choice for them, because as we say, one size does not fit for all. There are certain courses which some students might not be of interest. You look at what is the diversity of student set which we are getting these days. Some of them might not be very interested in certain courses. Some of them might be interested in something. So you look what is the variety that you can give it, but keeping in mind that with whatever alignment of the courses that you do, with that they become better and the best. So you get into a system what is called as choice based credit system. See, as much as flexible your curriculum can be, which is going to be of great help for the students. Clear? And also the courses that you sort of design, let there be a sort of an interdisciplinary approach. Okay, gone are the days where students are going to study one course specific. Okay, because these days it's the era of interdisciplinarity. They need to know more than one sort of subject in a sort of a little detail or with proficiency, so that they can better do well in the future. Okay, so let the courses that you sort of design has an interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary approach. Clear? And there has to be good amount of skill based learning. Whatever programs, okay, whether it is from humanities, commerce, sciences, technology, you need to ensure that there is sort of skill component there. Okay, so there has to be skill based learning. Okay, technology integrated, because you know that there is so much of usage of artificial intelligence currently in anything and everything. So there has to be technology integrated in the courses that you sort of design. Clear? And then research oriented pedagogies that you're going to sort of use it, that is where not everything is being taught to the students. There has to be more of inquiry based sort of learning, research based sort of learning, where you enthuse in them the inspiration or kindle in them the sort of a fire, where which they need to take it further and then sort of get into more of research oriented, where they are going to be content generators than rather content assimilators. Okay, and also keep in mind when you're designing the course, how relevant is your course to the local needs, how relevant it is for your state, to the country, and also keep in mind the global, because you are releasing all of these students into a pool where they might have to fit in anywhere possible within the society, be it local, state, national, or global. And ensure that there is holistic education. Clear? It is not only academics, it has to be curricular, co-curricular, extracurricular. You need to build them overall, that they are going to be strong internally, that is emotionally, physically, mentally skilled, so that they can fit in wherever possible with whatever the skill sets and the competencies that they sort of have it. Yeah. And whatever the curriculum that you're designing, where all these components are there, you need to keep sort of continuously reviewing as and when there is a requirement, because things changes within no time. That's the reason we say every 3 years there has to be a revision of one sort of a curriculum that you sort of have designed. Clear? Hope you're able to follow what I'm talking so far. Any questions at the moment that you have?
No, sir. As of now, it's very clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'll continue further.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so when I say that you have to design all of these, now let's try to dissect it a little more and then see how we go about it. Okay, now the first thing is, whenever a program has to be designed, what is the first thing that you need to look at for a program to be designed? First thing is define graduate attributes. So what is that you're looking in a particular student? What attitude, skill set, behavior uh, a student should have it of a particular program, that you need to sort of define. So when you're designing these graduate attributes, what you need to keep in mind is the vision and the mission of the institution you belong to. Every educational institution have their vision and a few mission statements written. So you need to align the graduation attributes to the vision and the mission of the institution, and then have them ready when you start working on the design of the curriculum. Clear? You try to identify what are the core values of the institution that you belong to, and what are the core values that you want to see it in the students who graduate out, and what competencies should they have it in them, is something that you need to define it through the graduation attributes. Once the graduation attributes are done, the second thing that you need to do is you do conduct a need analysis as to why should this program be implemented. If you already have implemented the programs, now there is no harm for you to further go ahead and check what is the requirement, what is the need analysis of that particular program. Clear? Try to get inputs about the program of the curriculum that you have designed from the faculty who are already teaching. Also, you can send it to the other faculty of the other institutions for you to get a sort of a feedback. Get the feedback from the students currently who are with you, from the alumnus who have already gone through this sort of a curriculum, would have gone out varied places. They're doing whatever jobs, whichever position they are in. Try to also get the external inputs from the industry experts. Your board of studies might have industry experts. You can also get a review. Go beyond from the board of studies also to other industry experts for you to get a sort of a review about the curriculum that you are starting if it is something new, or already implemented, you still can get it. Community needs, is it talk to the society around and see if you're planning to start something of this sort. What sort of feedback do you get it from them? Okay, what is the priorities of the nation at the moment? Okay, so with that you need to also sort of identify what is called as the gaps. Okay, this is what you intend to, but it's not really going the way you are thought of, and see what are the gaps there and how can you try to bridge those sort of gap is something that will help with this sort of need analysis. So once you have done this need analysis, the next thing that you're going to do is, you now, with that in mind, you start framing the learning outcomes. Okay, so three set of outcomes one can design for a particular program. One is program educational objectives. Now, these are the objectives which you're going to write it, what a student is able to do, not after the completion. After the completion, they might have started working in varied places, either self-employed like entrepreneurs, or they would have joined some companies. And after 3 years, 5 years after completing the graduation, what they are able to do or is something what you are going to write it in the program educational objectives. Then you have program outcomes of a particular program. Okay, be it BA program, BSc programs, or MC program, BTech programs, MTech programs, PhD programs, any of such programs that you have sort of designed. So you need to design or frame program outcomes where we are looking at the knowledge the students will possess, the skill sets the student will possess, and the attitude, which is nothing but the behavior of a student, which you want in them after they sort of complete the program. After, if it's a 3-year program, after 3 years down the line, what is that student will have in them? What knowledge, skill, or attitude. And then in a program, you're designing courses in different semesters. Semester 1, some set of courses, semester 2, 3, so on. For each of the course, you are designing some course outcomes. Okay, so a course of whatever 2 credit, 3 credit, 4 credit, so of a particular hour duration, you can write a few of the course outcomes which they are able to achieve it after you have taught them a particular course. Now, keep in mind that these POs and COs, you will have to align it with Bloom's taxonomy, where there are different levels of learning. Okay, right from basic remembering to understanding to applying to analysis, evaluation, and then creation. Clear? So there are these 6 levels that you see in the Bloom's taxonomy. You need to also have those levels of POs, what level of POs from 1 to 6, and COs also of different level, which you need to sort of frame it. Once you have done this framing of the learning outcomes, now you start designing the structure and the content. So curriculum structure for a 3-year program, for a 2-year program, not only what courses they are going to be part of, also what, in addition to the courses, the activities that you do. There might be programs like outreach, there might be programs like soft skill training that you're going to talk about. Okay, so whatever activities the students do in a 2-year or a 3-year program, all that has to be aligned and mapped. Clear? So in the curriculum structure, you're going to write what is the structure all about for a 3-year. Okay, so you define the program duration for how many years it is, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, okay, whatever. And then in that duration, how many semesters are there? In each of the semester, how many credits are there? Of those credits, how many of them are the core courses? How many of them are elective? How many of them are interdisciplinary? Like you have ability enhancement core courses. Okay, you have skill enhancement courses. Clear? All those you need to clearly define. UGC has already sort of given it in learning outcome based curriculum framework, or credit frameworks are available. So keeping that in mind, you need to sort of design this particular curriculum. Okay, and also you can ensure if there is any sort of horizontal or vertical integration of content. Clear? So horizontal and vertical, that is, there can be courses which you are not designed but someone else has designed, where you are allowing your students to go take those sort of courses and which you are going to add it. When I said sometime back up the 60-40-40, the online content which they can also take it from what is already available by various platforms like NPTEL, Coursera, Udemy, or also if you have a sort of a tie-up with the other institutes where they are offering courses for your sort of students. Clear? It can be nationally, internationally. So how those transfer of credits that can happen to this sort of horizontal or vertical integration of content. Okay, so this is something that you need to design. Clear? So once you have designed a rough sort of a framework of what courses, how many credits, all for the entire program set, then you need to start off how do you deliver whatever the courses that you sort of have designed. Clear? So then you need to design the teaching learning strategies, so for which every course might require a particular pedagogy. There are a lot of ways that you can teach them. Okay, not one pedagogy is going to be ideal. Most of the times we tend to teach in every type of course with the same sort of pedagogy. Here is something that you need to be very careful of while designing the pedagogy. What sort of a course to be taught by what? And if you have to make that sort of a course more sort of experiential, or where the students get sort of totally immersed in that particular program, that means you'll have to really do a good sort of research about what pedagogy you're going to implement to make a course more experiential, blended, which can be online, offline. Clear? There are certain things that you can give them for them to do it and then come back offline mode where you are doing more research, or online mode where you are doing more experiential activities. So this is something that you need to design carefully.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt, sir. Your voice is not audible, sir.
Sorry, I think there was some disconnection. Are you able to see the slide, the PPT,
It's,
or should I share it again?
yes, sir.
Should I share it again?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir. You can see it now. It is visible, sir.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'll join you. Can you see it? Sorry, once again, can you just confirm?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir. We can see the slides.
Sorry for the technical glitch. I'll continue further. So I was talking about designing. Okay, so you need to use pedagogy that would blend with whatever the course that you have designed. So you can design pedagogies which is more of experiential, where students get engaged completely into it so that they learn better. Blended learning, where you can do a lot of mix of online offline. Flipped classrooms, there is a concept that you can think of, where you start giving them sort of work, like making a video and all of that and posting it for you to sort of assess and all of that, that you can do. Project based learning, okay. Internships should be a part of it. Or whatever course that you have designed, whatever is the best pedagogy, you need to sort of bring that in mind. Clear? And also your pedagogy should have integrated ICT tools, online resources, which I was talking about. Okay. More field engagements. When you take them to wherever possible, then they sort of learn things better. Okay. And you need to ensure that the entire process is more of student centric. Okay. The more student centric approach that you follow, you can see more of students owning up the course and they sort of learn better. Okay. Because otherwise it's going to be forcefully we'll have to implement content on them. So try to make it more sort of engaging, where students feel that it's for them to learn, to get the concepts, the competencies and all, so that the active learning happens all through. Clear? And then the next thing that you'll have to do is, so there are two things that are done. One is you have designed the curriculum, you have designed the pedagogy. Then later what you'll have to do is you'll have to start mapping. Okay, assess first, and then later you'll have to go for mapping. That is what I'm teaching, whether the teaching has been successful or not, that I'm going to ensure through the assessment. Now, outcome-based education, again, it's student-friendly, where every type of student, be it whatever their grasping power, be it slow, mediocre, or fast learner, everyone should get benefited with this sort of a education system. Okay, so that's the reason the assessment that you're going to plan should be keeping in mind as to what type of students you have it, and accordingly your assessment also has to be designed. Okay, so you align these assessments with the course outcomes. I'm expecting this is the outcome of a particular course. To measure that sort of a course outcome, your assessments have to be aligned along with it. Clear? To measure a program outcome, your assessment has to be aligned with it, because you have to map these POs, COs, all that. Clear? So you use varied tools.